Hello.
One sec. Okay, but yeah. Cheyenne, do you want to finish the intro?
Sure. I'm currently eating barbecue chips, so. But yeah, like C said, welcome back to the Bookish podcast. And here we're going to be sharing our opinions and reviews on books that we have both read. Some of them will be books that only one of us has read, and the others just kind of tagging along. And on top of that, we will also be giving spice and language ratings. And if you saw our first episode, which was The Haunting, scary, I know, right? So, if you saw our first episode, you know that there will be background noise on my end and on C's. So, as of right now, because we are both full-time students, C is joining me over the phone. So, we are currently on a Google Meet call, recording episodes. So,
Plural.
episodes, plural. C, do you want to start with what you're drinking?
Well, right now I am drinking water from a circle.
Ooh.
The flavor is Star Blast.
Fancy.
Because I ran out of tea and I was too lazy to go get some more.
Smancy.
And I would rate it about 5 or 6 out of 10.
That's pretty good for water.
Yeah. And what are you drinking, Shy?
I have my favorite of all time tea, chai tea. Vanilla chai tea. Because C
With
knows.
caffeine.
With caffeine. That's what I was going to say. I said, I love the vanilla chai because there's caffeine in it.
Well, can't blame you there.
No, I'm an avid coffee drinker. Alright, so, our book.
I like my Dr. Peppers.
Yeah, C's got a problem with Dr. Pepper. Alright.
Yeah.
So, our book today, y'all, is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. And while I did most of the planning for the script on the last episode, C kind of took it over on this episode. So, C, you want to walk us through kind of what you've got going on for this book?
Okay, so I kind of just want to jump into it and discuss our opinions on it, really. What would we rather see out of everything that happened? And also, I really enjoyed the book. It's related to the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. She is the queen of subtle crossovers. She's the queen of strong characters and stuff like that. And so this is Hazel, and she's our and she has made Prince. He's in this glass coffin, and he's been asleep for as long as anyone can remember. Well, one day he wakes up. And Hazel and Ben had fantasized over this, Ben, her brother. And it's about her going through this journey of really figuring out who she truly is. Would you agree with that, Shy?
100%.
Okay, so
I want to add something real quick because you kind of glitched out on me. She was talking about it, and what she was talking about is Hazel is our female main character, and Ben is one of our main characters. So she glitched, and I wasn't 100% sure if y'all heard that. So I kind of wanted to just confirm that.
also something that I should probably add is Ben is gay in this, so gives a lot of context for what happens in the book, I feel like.
Nothing.
Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah. Nothing against, like, that whole scenario, though. But I do feel like it is something you need to know before you get into the book, because it kind of gets sprung on you.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like Holly Black does a really good job with this one. That's another thing she does, is making romances, like, plots and subplots at the same time. But, yeah. And Holly Black just kind of, like, subtly introduces it, so. Yeah.
It's a very good mix-up.
Yeah. So, let's just kind of jump right into it. So my first question is, what would you rather see? Hazel and Jack in a sequel, or Ben and the Prince?
So, I have a bit of an unpopular opinion, I feel like, with this one. Because we do kind of see Ben and Hazel and all of them in The Cruel Prince. But if we're talking strictly a sequel for The Darkest Part of the Forest, I would like to see Hazel and Jack in it. Because I'm very curious on, like, how she grows. And I'm also, one of my questions that I know I kind of brought up to you, one of my questions is, will Jack make a bargain to make her immortal? Because keep in mind, keep in mind, Hazel is human. Her brother Ben is human. Yeah. Jack is a changeling. So he's immortal.
Severus is a May prince.
Severus is immortal too. So
that's the name of the prince.
I don't know. I'm curious to see that. And I haven't really done research to find out if there will be a sequel or not. Because I don't remember when the book came out, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I think Holly Black's currently working on, like, the books from Cardin's perspective.
Ooh, I would so love that.
Yeah, she's already released, like, one.
Yeah. Y'all may be getting some episodes on The Cruel Prince. I'm going to be 100% honest.
Anyways, moving on. What did you think about Hazel making the deal with the Fae?
Ooh, okay. So, do you want to give a little context, or do you want me to give context?
You give context, because I'm not really good at that, so.
So, for a little bit of context, Hazel made a bond with the Fae when her and her brother were little. And it was a bond that
Well, not really bond, a deal.
Well, a deal. But, I mean, when you make a deal with the Fae in this book, you're essentially making a bond.
True.
But, here's the thing. This deal was made, 7 years prior?
No, like 4 or 5.
Okay. I knew it was some distance. But it gets called back in this book. And I really think that she was very, very stupid to make that bond. So just for a little bit more context, Ben was blessed as a baby by a Fae woman. And so he was very talented with music. And so that bond, that deal that Hazel made is related to Ben's gifts and Hazel's gifts. Because Hazel wasn't blessed by the Fae, but she had gifts of her own in the sense that she could kill Fae.
Yeah, and she was good at it too.
Oh, yeah.
was a little bit stupid. I understand she was coming from a good place, but also she didn't stop to consider how that might affect her brother. I feel like.
That's very true.
And everything that might happen. Which also, she was 11, I think, when this happened.
I think so.
Yeah. But still.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Fae are very dangerous to make deals with.
Oh yeah, especially in like.
They will twist words.
Yeah. But here's the kicker in Holly Black's books: the Fae cannot tell lies.
Yeah.
So
they twist words.
They can twist words, but they can't tell lies. And I think a lot of times they can't interpret like when the humans lie to them.
Yeah. So I think that's why they make the deals the way they do.
I feel like it is because the deals, they usually consist of like, oh, I get your firstborn. Like you make a deal with a changeling and it's, oh, I get your firstborn if you don't do such and such and such. Or in Hazel's case, she made a bond and her stipulation was that she would quit hunting. That she would quit killing Fae.
But that's not what they wanted from her.
Well, they did, yeah. They wanted her to quit. They wanted her to quit killing the Fae. But when they called the bond back in, was when they wanted the prince dead.
No, they also wanted more from the bond. They wanted 7 years of her life.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the 7. That's where I was getting the 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wanted 7 years of her life.
And for her to quit hunting.
Yeah. Okay. Is that your complete thoughts on it, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so next, what did you think about Hazel feeling guilty about kissing her brother's best friend at the time? Like, so for context, her brother was at this music academy, and this was her brother's best friend, and like she had like flirted with him a little bit, but that was it.
Hazel was such a
Her
flirt.
brother was what?
Hazel was such a flirt.
Yes. But her brother and this best friend, when they were in Philadelphia, were like, they were starting to become more. And it later comes out in the book that he kissed Hazel to prove to his parents that he wasn't gay, even though he was. So. But anyways, what did you think about Hazel feeling guilty about kissing her brother's best friend at that time?
I'm kind of glad she felt guilty because it kind of showed that even though she like went around and was constantly kissing all these different guys and everything and like leading them on, it showed that she still had a conscience in that sense because she felt bad about it.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good thing for her character. Would I want to see it again? Because, you know, she kind of felt guilty when she kissed Jack.
Yeah.
So.
But that was also because she actually cared about Jack. She didn't want to kiss him and hurt him because she knew that she might die because of her deal.
That's very true.
But I also think, in my opinion, that she made it a little bit too much of a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Because she thought that that was why her brother was upset and stuff. So. Why her brother broke his fingers.
Yeah.
Everything.
That was a big part in the book, was when Ben broke his fingers to, like, get rid of his gift.
And Hazel would have given anything to have his
Oh,
gifts.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which, honestly, can you blame Hazel?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
No, not really. So, but, one thing that I want to, like, kind of add in here is you really see character development over the whole book. It's not just Hazel and it's not just Ben's character development. It's all of them. It's Hazel's character development, Jack's character development, Ben's, their parents, servants. It's all of them. Severus. There we go.
I feel like Severus had the most.
Yeah.
Which also, he was trapped in a coffin for hundreds of years. So.
Yeah, he's what, 200 years old?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, yeah, I really feel like, yeah. Anyways, moving on. What did you think about Hazel's personality in general? Like,
I liked it.
If you could, like, depict it and describe it.
She kind of reminds me of one of those people who they're very strong in the active service department, but they don't know how to manage their own emotions, their own complex emotions.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think overall she's very good-hearted, but I feel like she had stuff buried that she wasn't bringing out, and that affected her character a lot.
Yeah. Also, another thing I remember you mentioning when I was talking to you about this earlier was that you thought that she wanted more attention.
Yes.
And you could tell that from her personality.
I do still stand by that. I feel like she did. But it's kind of like we were talking about. Their parents were young parents. They were kind of still in the hippie era, I guess. And, because side note, this book was wrote in 2015. So, when we're, like, in this book, Hazel and Ben are in, like, their last year of high school. And so they've kind of had their whole life with artistic parents who it was sometimes they forgot about dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Or they'd have parties all the time, and so.
Yeah, and when Ben.
Their parents would forget to feed them, and it was like a regular thing.
Oh yeah, and I feel like when Ben, like, developed his gifts and everything, and his parents focused so much on him, I can understand where Hazel kind of came from with felt like she was left out and everything. Because they moved to a whole different state so that Ben could go to a music school. So I feel like, that played I feel like it played a big role.
Yeah. And it sounds like they were both pretty neglected, but Hazel more than Ben.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ben had gifts that his parents knew something to do with. I mean, they were artists. So they knew what to do with a child prodigy of,
art.
Yeah.
But they didn't know what to do with a fighter.
Exactly.
I feel like they were very against Jack, though. Which made me a little bit upset.
I think the whole community was against Jack. Because just for a little bit of context, Jack's brother, his, like, stepbrother, because Jack's a changeling. So we're going to call Carter his stepbrother. He was abducted by Jack's mom when they were babies. And so Carter was switched for Jack. And with that arose the fact that when Jack and Carter's mom decided that she was going to keep Jack, it brought fear into a town that already had fear in it because of the Fae. Because you gotta think, the Fae were using the humans as food. Like, it was literally their hunting grounds, was what the mortal realm was. So, they were very, like, against Jack, but at the same time, I kind of understand why they were, I guess. So.
Yeah, but also, I don't know, it just made me a little bit more upset with Hazel's parents feeling like that. Because this is a kid that they've known since he was little. So.
That's very true.
And they know that he would never have any ill intentions or anything.
Well, and I don't think it was so much they were worried about him having ill intentions. I feel like they were worried that, like, his mother or somebody from his family would find out something and come to harm anyone that was connected to Jack.
Yeah. Which also, I specifically remember that they were, like, blaming him for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So. But yeah. So, yeah. Which also, Jack's mom was, like, stepmom was really strict.
Oh, yeah. She was hard on him. But, I mean, you think about it, if you had a changeling son that the Fae could come and take away at any moment and cause a war between you and them, I feel like I'd be a little bit strict too, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing like Penny's parents.
Oh, no. That was our last episode in The Haunting. Yeah. That was our main character in our last episode, so.
Yeah. Go watch that.
Oh, yeah. Go check it out. It's Bookish Pod, Episode 1, The Haunting.
Okay. So, moving on. What ships did you see happening when you were reading the book? I feel like this is a really good question to go after and dissect and think about.
I'm gonna be honest. Before I knew that Ben was gay, okay, I saw Hazel and the Prince being a ship. I also feel like, because see, in the beginning, Ben was kind of going out and everything, so I didn't really consider him with anybody. I kind of just put him as somebody who was trying to figure out, like, who he liked to date. But I definitely saw Hazel and the Prince together.
I feel like that would have been a really good ship.
But we obviously know that didn't happen.
Yeah. But, like I said, I feel like that would be a really good ship.
Oh, yeah. I feel because
that could have happened.
I mean, this may be a little bit of a spoiler, but Hazel broke the Prince out of his coffin and kissed him subconsciously and kissed him to wake him up.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I shipped them together. I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely, like, tell that Hazel and Jack were going to be a thing.
I did later on. I will admit I was not one of the people who put them together in the beginning. It took me a minute.
I don't know, I really liked the idea of them being together. And I don't know, it's good. It felt good that it was, like, something different from the enemies to lovers, like in The Cool Prince.
Oh,
it was, like, my brother's best friend. Stuff like that. So a different change of pace.
Alright, what's your next question, girl?
Okay, so this is my last one. And then you can ask some, because I'm not sure if you have any or not.
I might have one or two.
What did you think about
Okay. This is gonna sound so wrong, but I would like to have seen Hazel be more vulnerable. The word that I used when me and you were talking was I would like to see Hazel be more feminine. Because, and I love Holly Black. I love her books to death. But a lot of times...
She does a really good job with them.
She does. A lot of times, though, we see this recurring trend with the female main characters of they're always so strong and tough that you never get to see that vulnerable side. Jude was...
But they also, like, close off from their emotions.
Yeah. I would like to see them, like, touch into that more. I mean, they're female main characters for a reason. We're not always tough.
Yeah. And I feel like with Jack and Hazel and the Jude and Carden ship, I would have really liked to see those women be more fragile with
Yeah.
their men. Because the men have had their breaking points of being fragile.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see them be fragile with their men.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see that. Because Jude and Carden, for me, they were like the YA version of Farrah and Rysand. They had such a traumatic past shared together that I would have liked them to touch on that more and to kind of build on that.
Yeah. And, which, even if Nicole Prince, Holly Black did a little bit better, like, letting Jude have her more vulnerable side.
But it
Because keep in mind, when she fell on that table when she was stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which also, I should probably shut up. Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Sienna, we can't cuss on here. We'll get reported.
Oh, wait, we will.
Probably. It's YouTube. I really don't know.
I mean, people cuss on YouTube.
Us just casually...
I don't know.
Us just casually dissing YouTube as that's the only place that we post our podcast.
Yeah.
We love you, YouTube. We love the YouTube gods that
Yeah.
be. So, I definitely... And we'll probably touch on this again when we get into the Cruel Prince. I would definitely like to see... Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Holly Black's still writing books. So, little shout out to Miss Holly Black. If you write a book, this is just our opinion, please give the female main character, please give her a time to be, like, feminine.
Fragile and vulnerable.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
And also, like, it gives you that sweet side of the romance.
Yeah, because, I mean, Jude and Carden were awesome, and I love Jack and Hazel too. But both of those girls, they girl bossed a little too close to the sun.
Yeah. I would have liked to see them both be vulnerable.
I definitely would too. And I kind of, as much as I didn't like some of the middle books in ACOTAR, anybody who's seen my Instagram post about that knows that I didn't really care for the middle books of the series. As much as I don't like that, I would 100% like to do a podcast on the first book of ACOTAR, because, like, Sarah J. Maas, she did such a good job of, even when stuff was going on, letting Farrah be, like, feminine.
Yeah.
So.
But you're a really big Sarah J. Maas fan, right?
Oh, yeah. Do I wish some of her books weren't so spicy? Yes. Have I skipped spice chapters? Yes. Do I think they are
Yeah.
very... In which the post on Instagram was more my disliking to the spice in it. And that's why I gave it such a low rating.
You liked the plot. You just didn't like
Yeah.
the spice.
Yeah. But that's one reason I gave it such a low rating on Instagram, was because of that. And so I love the plot. I think she's a very good writer, and I love that her books are so well written. I just think they need more of a plot than some of them have, where it's not just spice is the plot. Because, like, the last book, that's all it was.
Yeah.
But, however, that leads me to this, since that was your last question. The darkest part of the forest has no spice in it, I don't think. If it does...
It has a little... It's like... It gets a little steamy.
Yeah. It's kind of closed door, I would probably call it.
Yeah. It gets a little steamy in one of the chapters, but that's it.
Yeah. And I don't think the language is that bad. I'd probably rate the language like a 4 out of 10, maybe.
Maybe. I don't really think there's any language.
I think there might be some, like, here and there. But I say...
So I'd probably change that to a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, we'll give it a 2 out of 10. But overall, like, this book is very good. I give it a 10 out of 10. I love this book.
Yeah.
I've reread it multiple times.
Yeah. I'd probably agree with you on that.
Well, C, is there anything else you want to add to it?
No? You?
No? Well, I guess that concludes...
Catch y'all on the next book.
Yeah, catch y'all on the next book. Bye.